What's up, everybody? Welcome to Junk Ninjas. My name is Coy. So I wanted to make this video today to kind of give you all an update of what's going on, because it's been a while since I made a video. Some of you may or may not know that I fractured my toe pretty bad, so I haven't been able to work. We've still been doing jobs, but my mom had to hire two other people just to so my mom had to hire two other people to help out with all the work because I couldn't do anything. So it's a lot better now. We had okay, there's kind of a lot going on, so let me figure out the best way to put this all out there. So since I broke my toe, I haven't been able to work, but we keep getting jobs in. So every time we get a job in, my mom has two people. One, it was like a permanent person, well, sort of permanent, and the other one was just like an on-call helper guy. So she reached out, and she's been working with these two people to help us do these jobs since I can't work. The more permanent guy, actually, we ended up having to let go because he just started getting way too full of himself and was just talking down to my mom. And, he was demanding too much money, all this stuff. So long story short, we just let him go. We don't use him anymore. We still do have that other guy that is just an on-call person that we can use from time to time. But my toe is getting better. I actually have an appointment tomorrow to go get it x-rayed again and to see if I'm any better. And if I get clear, then I can go back to work. Okay, so then the next thing is, a lot of you know that, a lot of you that follow the channel know that I won the Google mentorship with Xavier Caldera when I went to the Junk Expo. And so Xavier lives in Houston, Texas, and I am in Washington State. So we've been meeting on Zoom every week, and he's been helping me, take my business up to that next level, but we basically started from scratch because, when I met Xavier, he found out very quickly that my business is at the ground floor. I mean, I don't even own a truck. I don't own a junk removal truck. I still have to use a U-Haul every time. Even though this month Junk Ninjas is 1 year old. Yeah. So, we've been in business for 1 year, but we're still using U-Haul. We still don't have our own trucks or anything like that. So we basically had to start everything from the ground up. So he has helped us, with our business cards. He's helped us with door hangers. We still don't even have yard signs yet. I've looked into yard signs from, I can't remember the ones that Sonoma Stronghall uses, CB marketing or something like that. But we checked with them, and they're still pretty pricey. So I reached out to a whole bunch of different, people in China, and they're all still pretty expensive also. So it's a little rough right now. So we're, but we still advertise on Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, Craigslist, all that stuff. Our problem is that we've tried to go to all of the storage places and the realtors and property managers, but all of those places want you to be licensed and bonded. We're licensed, but we're not bonded. When I went to the state of Washington, they said that unless you are working strictly with construction contractors doing these huge construction jobs, or if you're working with asbestos, if you're not doing either of those, you do not have to be bonded. And we don't work with contractors on these big construction jobs, and we definitely don't work with asbestos. So we personally don't have to be bonded in the state of Washington, but it goes by a case-by-case basis. So all of the property managers and realtors, they all want to work with somebody that's bonded. So we don't have any relationship with any of the property managers or any of the realtors or any of that stuff. because we're not bonded. So in a few months, I am actually going to be moving from Washington State to Houston, Texas. So right now, Xavier and I have been meeting up on Zoom, and we've been meeting up every week since I've won the mentorship, and just been trying to do the best we can through Zoom. But now that he knows that I'm going to be moving to Houston, the last time we met about 2 weeks ago on Zoom, we discussed all this, and he said the best plan of action right now is to just kind of put our mentorship, the Google mentorship, put that on pause right now, because we know enough right now to just keep Junk Ninjas going in Washington, just by advertising on all the different places that I said that we advertise on, and we get business from that. It's all residential business. So we know enough to keep on going that route and just keep on getting residential business. But what Xavier was suggesting is that we pretty much pause the mentorship part until I get to Houston in a few months. He says, once you get to Houston, then we'll be able to meet up face to face, and then everything will just go a lot smoother and a lot easier. Things will be a lot, he has more resources out there, everything, stuff like that. So with that all being said, once I get to Houston, I'm going to basically take 2 steps back to take 1 step forward. So what I'm going to basically do is, when I get to Houston, I don't know the area at all. Like the area that we're in right now in Kitsap County, in Kitsap County, we service probably about 5 or 6 different towns. And all of those towns combined in Kitsap County is about 240,000 people. So we're not in a super huge area or anything like that. So with that being said, once I go to Houston, I'm going to be going from 240,000 people to Houston's population is 2.3 million people. So the business is definitely going to be there. So what Xavier is going to do for me, and he's already talked to the people out in Houston, and he's already made the connections, and he's already got things lined up for me, is what I mean when I say I'm going to have to take 2 steps back to go 1 step forward, is that when I get to Houston, he's hooking me up with a job basically that will start the very next day. Like after I get there, the very next day, I'll be able to start work. But I'm going to be working for College Hunks Hauling Junk. So the guy that owns that particular one, it's a $7.5 million a year company. And he's looking for somebody that is reliable, as far as, somebody that he could train, show the ropes, all this stuff to, and someone that he can eventually promote to an operations manager. So Xavier said that it will probably take me about a year to reach operations manager. Once I get to operations manager, then what he is suggesting is that I quit College Hunks Hauling Junk, and then Xavier and I relaunch Junk Ninjas in Houston. Then I will have worked my way up from a regular new hire with College Hunks Hauling Junk, and I will work my way up to a operations manager, because the guy wants somebody reliable that doesn't do drugs, doesn't have any problems working, is a hard worker, and all that stuff. So, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't even vape. I don't smoke pot. I don't do any of that. I used to have a very hardcore drug addiction. I was addicted to meth for 7 years, but this September 11th, I will have 3 years clean. And thank God for that. So that's kind of where Junk Ninjas is going right now. So now the guy in Texas that is going to hire me for College Hunks Hauling Junk, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me 100%, but I'm pretty sure that Xavier said that he already knows that I own my own junk removal business. Now, his business being a $7.5 million a year business, I'm not a threat. In nowhere, no way, shape, or form, I am not a threat to his business at all. So the guy doesn't mind hiring me and teaching me the ropes and letting me work my way up to operations manager. And he already knows that once I become an operations manager, he knows that I'm going to leave his company and relaunch my own. So that year that I work with him, it will give me time to get to know the Houston area, to know where all the different areas are and all that stuff. It'll give me a chance to learn junk removal and hauling and all the ins and outs of it and learning how to drive the trucks and all of that stuff. So it will really, really give me a huge arsenal that I can use to apply to Junk Ninjas when the time is right. So that's kind of what's going on with Junk Ninjas right now. That's where that's going. As far as, so this video is just kind of like an update to kind of give you guys, to let you guys know what's going on and stuff like that. You know, like I said, September 11th, this year, I will have 3 years clean. The first year, Narcotics Anonymous was the one that really helped me stay clean and, stay on track and doing the step work, all that stuff. Something inside of me was just like, I don't want to be going to NA meetings every day or every week for the rest of my life in order to stay clean. And, a long time ago, when I first got clean, my mom, I told my mom that I want to find a good church. And my mom watches Joel Osteen he's the pastor of Lakewood Church in Houston. And he has a live YouTube channel every Sunday morning where their service in Houston is live on YouTube. So I've been watching that for like a couple years now. And through watching Joel Osteen, I have learned about so much about recovery, and I learned about my life with God and how God changes your life and how God can actually remove, when you're an addict, that all that is just Satan putting a label on you saying that you are an addict or that you are an alcoholic or that you are a gambler or whatever it is. But you don't have to live with that label. So what I've learned from watching Joel Osteen's channel is that if you pray to God and you work at it, you can actually have that label of addict removed. So that's what I did. I had that label removed from me. I no longer attend NA meetings because I wanted a life without NA meetings, because I wanted a life where I can travel and go camping and go off-roading and go hang out with friends and do things without having to worry about carving out a chunk of time every single day to go to an NA meeting. Also, and this is my personal experience. I'm not bashing NA at all, but all of the times that I relapsed was because I was attending meetings every single day. And all they talk about is dope this, dope that, dope, 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 dope. And you can only talk about dope so much before you're going to actually want to go out and use. So that was another reason why I didn't like going to NA meetings every single day, because when I was pushing myself to go every single day, it would last for a month or two, and then I would relapse. A month or two, and then I would relapse. A month or two, and then I would relapse. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. So I just basically turn my life over to God, and I do everything. I read my Bible every day. I pray every day. I watch Joel every Sunday, and I apply everything that I learned to my life. And through doing that, I have been able to have that label of addict removed. And I no longer go to NA meetings. It's been over a year since I've been to an NA meeting, and my life has never been this good ever, even before I was an addict. Like my life now with God on my side and my business, everything is better than it's ever been, hands down, 100%. One of the ways that I like to give back is through my other YouTube channel. I have a personal YouTube channel that I actually started a long time ago, and it was originally a personal finance channel where I just talked about everything that I learned from like watching David Ramsey and George Camel and Rachel Cruz and all these things, and how I apply that to my life and everything like that. So it originally started as a personal finance channel. And then once I got clean and gave my life to God and all that stuff, I changed that channel to a faith-based channel based on my trials and tribulations. So in the channel, I give a disclaimer. I tell you that, I am not a minister. I am not a sponsor. I'm not a priest. I've never been to seminary or anything like that. I'm just a normal person, like you guys and girls. I'm just a normal person that uses my trials and tribulations and what I learn about God and how I apply all that to my life. And I basically just give advice to you on how you can better your life if you come across some of the things that I'm battling in my life. So that's all it is. You're totally more than welcome to go check the channel out. It's called My Best Version of Me. And it's a picture of me like this. That's a picture I took a long time ago. It's just a picture of me with my hands up in the air, with my back facing the camera. And it's called My Best Version of Me. And, you're more than welcome to go check it out. You don't have to. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to lure you guys into my channel. I'm just trying to say, if you guys want to go check it out, you can. If you don't have to, whatever. But that's how I give back from everything that I've learned in NA, in faith-based, and all my walk with God, my walk with Christ, everything. That's how I give back. I know that I can't save anybody. But through what I learned, I can be the bridge to bring people to Christ and let Christ be the one to save people. So that's what that channel is all about. It's all about just me just offering my advice and give motivation and just my trials and tribulations and everything that works for me. And yeah, so that's basically where Junk Ninjas is going right now. We are not going to stop making videos. It's just the jobs are getting very few and far between because we're really not putting in a ton of effort. I mean, we still advertise every single day, multiple times a day with LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, all the necessary, platforms and everything. We still advertise, my mom handles that and she advertises daily, all the time, every day with that all the time, and I do the YouTube videos and stuff and obviously the work. My mom also hasn't been trying to really book a lot of jobs since I hurt my toe because we know that we got rid of one guy and we have one guy on call, but that one guy that's on call, he can't drive the truck. He can't drive the U-Haul truck. Anything like that. He doesn't have a license, anything like that. So every time we hire him, he has to take the bus down here. We got to pick him up, all that stuff. So, my mom, since I've hurt my toe, my mom hasn't really been trying that hard to book a lot of jobs because she knows that, the work is limited, everything like that. But now, hopefully, if I get cleared tomorrow, even if I don't get cleared tomorrow, I can still work. I mean, I could still go out and I could drive the U-Haul. I could still go and work and everything. It's not as bad as when it was when it first happened. So, we can still try to book jobs. And if we book jobs, I will definitely be making a YouTube video for those jobs, just like I did with all the other videos on this channel. But, we're just not putting a lot of time into that right now because we know that we're trying to get me to Houston. Now, my mom is going to stay here in Washington and just handle all of the loose ends, sell the place, sell my Jeep, stuff like that. And then when all that's done, she's going to meet me in Houston. But I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go out there first. Xavier gave me a number to save up for. He says, once you hit that number, get out of Washington as quick as you can. He says, I have a job lined up for you. He's already helped me find an apartment complex. The apartment complex is close to two of my passions that I want to do when I get to Houston. One of them is I want to join Lakewood Church because, like I said, they are in Houston. They saved my life. If I would have never found Lakewood Church, I don't think I would be this far in life with my recovery and with junk removal, anything like that. If it wasn't for Lakewood, I would probably be still bouncing. I would probably still be bouncing back and forth from, you know, recovery, relapse, recovery, relapse, recovery, relapse. And I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. So when I get to Houston, that is going to be one of my main things, is join Lakewood Church. The second thing is I want to join Iron Sports Ninja Gym, which is an American Ninja Warrior training gym that trains people to go on the show American Ninja Warrior, which I am super passionate about. Hence the name Junk Ninjas. That's why I named my company Junk Ninjas, because I am super passionate about American Ninja Warrior, and I plan to eventually be on the show American Ninja Warrior. And they have the training gym right there in Houston that has trained so many of the ninjas that have already been on the show, and is actually owned by a ninja that has been on the show several times. So the apartment that Xavier helped me find is literally 20 minutes from Lakewood, 20 minutes from the Ninja Warrior gym, and 6 minutes away from the College Hunks Hauling Junk office that I would currently work at. So everything is all right there. So like I said, he gave me a number. He says, once you get to this number saved up, get your butt to Houston. Once you get to Houston, we will pick up this mentorship where we left off and continue from there. So that's what's going on. Sorry this video is so long. I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on with Junk Ninjas. So, you know, if you don't see our videos all the time, it's not that we've closed. It's not that we've quit or anything like that. It's just that we are right in the middle of transitioning from Washington to Houston. So give us a little bit of time. Once everything is all on the up and up, everything will be right back to normal, and I'm sure it'll be a lot more content. I'm sure I'll be pumping content out left and right, a lot more on a regular basis. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching Junk Ninjas. Please continue to watch out for our videos and any updates that we may post. And please comment below. What do you think? I mean, give me your advice. You know, like, I mean, honestly, this is all set in stone, but I mean, tell me what you think anyway. I would love to read your guys' comments. You know, I am definitely going to Houston. I am done with Washington. You know, I see why when people get clean, I see why they normally move out of the area, because I didn't do that. I got clean and I stayed here, and I am constantly running into old people. I DoorDash also, you know, that's how I make my living basically, you know, until junk removal really picks up. So DoorDash has been my main job for the past 7 years. So when I DoorDash, it constantly takes me into old neighborhoods where I used to use and all that. So I just really want to get out of Washington State. You know, the friends that I have in Washington State are old friends that I used to work at a restaurant called Trapper's Sushi. And they were like my second family. They all were there with me when I went through my addiction, when I got clean, everything. So those people I hold very close to my heart. Other than that, everybody else that I know is still in active addiction and still just living that life. And I don't want anything to do with any of those people, like nothing. So, you know, it's really funny because they say, you know, to surround yourself with people that you want to, like, kind of like people that you look up to, you know. So I'm friends with one of the girls down the street that owns a coffee shop. You know, she's a business owner. She owns her own coffee shop. She does very well for herself. And I'm friends with her because I want to learn from her. I want to be around people that are more successful than me, because that will push me to be just as successful as they are. Yesterday, it was funny. I was at the gas station and I saw this guy, you know, and he was driving a really nice Mercedes that had Texas plates on it, you know. And, you know, with me getting ready to go to Texas, I had to start up a conversation with him, you know. Him being a brother and driving a Mercedes, you know, I was like, dude, I want to talk to this guy. I want to know what he's about, what he's doing, how did he get that Mercedes, you know, maybe I can learn from him. So I'm sitting there and talking to him. We're talking about Texas and everything. And then out of nowhere, this girl comes up behind me and she hugs me and she's like, hey, Coy, what's up? And I turn around and it's one of the girls that I used to get high with. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? And like the guy, like, he kind of gives me this weird look because he sees her and she's all just whatever. And then he sees me, you know, and he kind of gives me this weird look. And I just kind of gave her like a 1 or 2 word answer. And I just kind of like shined her off, you know. And I just kept talking to the guy, whatever. And that's what I mean when I say, like, I need to get out of Washington. Like, I keep running into old friends that are still using, still abusing, still running wild, still just running and gunning. And I am done with that life. Like, I don't want that life anymore. I don't want anything to do with that life anymore. Like, I just want to be a successful business owner, just like all of you guys watching my channel. So thank you so much for watching Junk Ninjas. My name is Coy. I appreciate all your love and support, and stay tuned for the next video, whenever that is. All right. Love you guys. Peace out. God bless.